Texas Tech has done such a good job at home of being in every game. I think they compete at a high level here. They defend at a high level here. And I thought we didn't defend in the first quarter. I think the thing that has maybe been their Achilles heel is making shots. In that first quarter, they were shooting 75% from three, and so we had to weather that. We had to get better. I thought our defense got better as the game went along. Everybody gets tired legs. But then I thought the zone bothered us. I thought we had a chance to create separation. We've been really good against zones lately, and I thought their zone really, really bothered us. So happy to escape with a win, and thankful they missed as many free throws as they did, because that would have not looked the same potentially at the end.
Hey, Coach, so you got two programs in Texas who have a lot of history and are known as pretty incredible women's program. What does that mean to you as coaching Baylor and then just coming into United Market Streets Arena?
When I took this job, obviously 3 national championships, a ton of history. It felt like that first year there were a lot of firsts. First time, Baylor had lost to Kansas State since I don't know when. But there's always been a lot of pressure with this job. But I also there's brand recognition for both Baylor and Texas Tech, and I feel like that's the thing that both programs have kept that brand strong. And so really grateful for the opportunity I got at Baylor, the resources we have to sign great players, to keep great players. Our jobs are always easier with great players. So I think that's the thing about both these programs. When you look at the history and you look at the All-Americans and the Hall of Famers, both programs have both.
Yeah, so you talked about weathering the storm a little bit tonight. What did you kind of tell the team after being down quite a little bit in this game, especially when y'all were down at one point by 10?
Yeah, just really challenged them on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, I thought that, we're a team that thrives in the open court. We thrive on misses when we can get to early post-ups, when we can get to early drags, early step-ups. And by not getting stops, we were consistently facing the press, which, they didn't bring a lot of doubles, and it didn't necessarily bother us from hey, we were just turning it over against it. I mean, I thought we had a late turnover against the press, but it just thwarted your ability to play in the open floor. And so, I thought, hey, if we get stops, if we start getting rebounds, we can play our style of basketball. And I thought the second quarter we were a lot better offensively. We defended better, and all of a sudden we started spreading the wealth, making plays. But this was an unusual game for us to have 10 assists, on 27 baskets. Like, that just hasn't been how we've played. But I thought, we were able to get downhill and get to the rim some. But we didn't make a lot of kick out, one more type threes, but maybe the biggest assist of the game there at the end when Jada drove and dropped to Nettie to create that separation. So probably not a pretty game to watch, but a really good game, really competitive game.
Coach, a pretty offensive, heavy offensive first half, from both teams in the first half. Just what was your message to the team at the end when you had that steal to go up by 1 point in the game, the first lead for your team there? And at halftime, what was the message just coming out into the third and fourth?
Yeah, didn't really have a message on the steal other than keep competing, get a stop, obviously getting a steal, getting a rebound, that's how you have opportunity to get back in a game, to take a lead. At halftime, we really challenged them. We were making poor decisions on screening actions, not playing to our scout very well on the defensive side. I mean, we had scored 39 points. It wasn't an offensive issue. We're on pace to score 80, but I think it was a defensive issue. So we really challenged them on the defensive side of the ball. And then I thought we bothered them with some of our middle actions, and then they went zone. So then it was attacking the zone on a night where, Aaronette really struggled. She just, she's been so good for us and kept us so balanced. And tonight was a night I thought she really struggled, and we struggled in some of our ball screen coverage. So I thought our ball screen coverage and their ability to, whether they were in zoom and coming off a handoff to a roll, or whether they were in a ball screen to a roll, they played behind us to the roller way too easily tonight.
In the fourth quarter, within the final 2 minutes after the game was brought 60-63, with Tech trailing by one possession, what kind of defense adjustments did you make just to hold them scoreless for the last 2 minutes of the game?
Well, we went. I mean, in that stretch, some of it was they just missed. I mean, the pressure's on. It wasn't that they didn't get shots, but they missed. We did a decent job on the glass there late. It probably wasn't until the last couple possessions that we were trying to switch out things to not give up a three. I thought our ball pressure was good most of the night. We just, when they got in screening actions, in particular their zoom and their ball screens, we had switched to, icing the ball screen. I thought that was disruptive a couple times, but we probably didn't do it well enough early enough. But it was just, some of it was just they just missed shots. When you think about the key plays in the game, it's Sarah Andrews' three in the corner against the zone. It's Jada getting downhill and dropping it to Nettie. It's about, I think Tech's in a lot of these late games, she's called good stuff. They've gotten good shots for good players, and that ball just hasn't gone in. And I think there's something to the art of winning. And when you're confident and you're used to making plays in late games, it becomes a little bit easier. Yeah, there's pressure, but Sarah Andrews has been in a lot of these games before. Jada Walker's been in a lot of these games. Doesn't mean they don't make mistakes, but I think sometimes, winning and losing is contagious. And it's those kids battled. Like, she's got them playing really hard, executing at a really high level, has really simplified their actions. We just really saw a lot of ball screens, some flares. The flare bothered us a few times. But it's just kids making plays. You tell me the last time Bailey Maupin missed 2 free throws late in a game to keep it within 1 point. Like, that's not her. Like, she's an elite free throw shooter. So sometimes you get breaks, and I would say that was some of it.
Honestly, Coach, I see the pin on your left side of your jacket. Can you talk a little bit more about it and the Play 4K initiative, just your initial thoughts and stuff?
Yeah, when you think about women's basketball and what Jimmy Valvano and then Kay Yao did, her battle with cancer, she fought it, she beat it, it came back. We all in this profession followed her, and it's just been a really cool thing to honor her legacy. Everyone on our team, everyone in our program has been touched in some way by cancer, and oftentimes in breast cancer because of how common it is. And so I think it's about playing for something bigger than yourself. It's about more than pink shoelaces and pink headbands and jerseys, which obviously everybody loves to wear, but ultimately it's about playing for somebody. It's playing for something bigger than yourself. So always grateful to play in these games, to play in We Backpack games, to play in the games that are a little bit bigger than just basketball. Thank you.